For our first module, we'll be talking about introduction and background of network and system administration. Again, kailangan meron pa rin tayong understanding about computer network when we administer the system kasi wala kang i-administer kung wala po tayong network. So, what is a computer network? Again, a network is a system containing any combination of computers, computer terminals, printers, audio or visual display devices, or telephones interconnected by telecommunication equipment or cables that are used to transmit or receive information. So basically, ang keyword dyan, kapag sinabi natin na network, syempre kailangan may mga interconnection ng mga computers and then devices. And then syempre gumagamit tayo ng cables for you to interconnect these devices so that we could transmit or even receive the information. Basically, in a typical setting, ito yung ating network diagram. So meron tayong mga workstations or the PCs that you can see here that are interconnected with one another. Pwede tayong gumamit ng wired network to connect our devices like the printer. And also meron din tayong fiber optic network cable along with the firewall na connected by internet through the use of router, and then nakakonect din yung other local area networks using our router as well. And then syempre meron din tayong switch and then server, and of course we can also utilize naman wireless network aside from the wired network. So ito yung typical network diagram. Meron po tayong dalawang main types ng networks. So yung WAN or the wide area network and the LAN or the local area network. So lahat naman po yan itatouch din po natin as we go along. Lalo na dun sa subject na computer networks and security. So wide area network exists over a large area. The data travels through telephone or cable lines, and this usually requires a modem. So, alam naman po natin that the world's largest wide area network is no other than the internet. Yung local area network naman po, ito yung siguro mas nabivisualize natin or nagagamit po natin, spans a relatively small area. So the LAN are usually confined to one building or a group of buildings. The data travel between network devices through the use of network cables. So the most common type of local area network is called the Ethernet. Yan. So again, so we have the internet and then of course the Ethernet. So, these are some of the common types of networks. So, isa-isa pinakamadali na pwede po nating maintindihan or gamitin for the computer network is of course the peer-to-peer network. It is usually very small networks at yung bawat workstation or bawat PC ay merong equivalent capabilities and responsibilities. Hindi po sila nagre-require ng switch or hub. At yung type ng network na ito do not perform well under heavy data load. So kung medyo konting data lang yung kailangan natin, so pwede tayong gumamit ng peer-to-peer network. And then we have here the network switches and the network hubs. So switches and hubs through this one, so the data travels faster through switches because data is not sequenced as it is in a hub. The information is more secured when it passes through a switch as opposed to a hub. Information travels more efficiently through a switch because travels directly to its destination as opposed to being broadcast to all PCs on the network hub. So yun yung one main reason kung bakit mas efficient gamit yung switch kumpara dun sa hub. Kasi nga yung dinadaanan niya ay mas maunti. Server naman, so users of course are connected to certain servers which will fulfill the required request. At dahil ang subject natin ay systems administration, so usually kung ito talaga yung magiging nature ng work mo, syempre meron kang control over the server. Pero yung mga typical employee or user, syempre wala tayo talaga na physical access on the server. So merong three principal types of servers. So we have the print servers, the file servers, and the web servers. So yung print server natin contains the name and also the location, lahat ng printers on the network. Yung file server naman contain the location and the names of the various drives, files, and folders on a network. And of course, yung web server naman natin containing the programs, the files, and the internet websites. So, ito yung example ng rack of servers na meron po tayo. Ngayon, punta na tayo sa definition ng system administrator kasi nabigay lang ako ng background about network na kailangan intindi ng isang system administrator. Yung general definition ng systems administrator ay ito. So, one who manages computer, more than just a computer, kasama yung network systems on behalf of another, such as an employer or a client. So, instead nga naman na yung mismong owner or even the people working on that company, yung mag-manage, merong someone na doing that for us. SAs or the system administrators are the people who make things work and keep it all running. Kaya medyo mabigat din yung tungkulin ng sysad. Lalo ngayon, di ba? So alam naman po natin lahat ng mga work natin kailangan talaga ng internet, kailangan talaga ng network, di ba? So use of computers and so on, security. So they look after computers, networks, and the people who use them. And they also look after the hardware, operating system, software configurations, applications, or security. So more than just installation, so sila rin yung nagde-determine para ma-maximize yung gamit ng mga applications na meron tayo. Kasi 'di ba, may mga corresponding licenses po 'yan. So kung hindi siya properly utilized or managed, sayang din po yung cost na binabayad po natin for that. At syempre, yung threat kung na-expose yung data natin, syempre yung security, problema rin yan ng systems administrator. Kailangan medyo strong yung kanilang security on the data. Ito yung philosophy ng system administration. System administration guidelines which make up the philosophy of system administration are the following. So isa-isahin po natin yan later. Pero basically, these are the bullets. They automate everything. Tindi, no? Document everything. Communicate as much as possible. They know your resources. They know your users. Know your business. Secure the system. Plan ahead. Expect the unexpected. Kasi akala natin, sysad, sige, siya lang yung taga-install ng software na kailangan ko. Siya lang yung taga-issue ng laptop na kailangan ko. So, ang dami palang ginagawa ng system administrator. So, automate everything. Anything done more than once should be examined as a possible candidate for automation. Lalo na tayo as engineers, diba? As computer engineers. So, we learn a lot of programming languages. Siyempre, ang goal natin, kung may mga ginagawa na repetitive task being done manually, we have to automate that. Kailangan natin siyang mapabilis. So, here are some commonly automated tasks. Free disk space checking and reporting. So para nga naman hindi na nila gawin yan manually for each computer. Siyempre yung pag-backup ng file, 'di ba? Instead of saving that in a hard disk drive, so or copying the files to the other server, so ginagawa na rin yun automatically. System performance data collection, even the maintenance of the account, pag-create ng account, pag-delete ng account, pag-modify and so on. Even the business-specific functions, pushing new data to a web server, running monthly, quarterly, yearly reports, and so on. Kasi usually yung top management, kailangan nila ng information. Lalo lang sinabi ko kanina, yung utilization. So, kailangan meron silang report na automatically na nilang na-generate. Then, ibibigay na lang nila doon sa kailangan, sa nangangailangan na tao. Keep in mind that if you have a task that should be automated, it is likely that you are not the first system administrator to have that need. Here is where the benefits of open source software really shine. You may be able to leverage someone else's work to automate the manual procedure that is currently consuming your time. So always make sure you search the web before writing anything more complex than a small Perl script. Totoo yan. Even in our industry, diba? So ngayon, alam natin na meron ng AI. Siyempre, hindi mo kailangan magkopya ng codes mo doon sa ChatGPT or sa Copilot. Pero pwede kang magtanong sa Copilot, sa ChatGPT kung meron kang task na gustong i-automate. Then from there, you can modify that para ma-apply doon sa kailangan mo na automation. Pangalawa, di ba, they document everything. So, what you should document, so, ilan lang po ito? Siyempre yung policy. Kailangan policy are written to formalize and clarify the relationship system and network admin has with user community. Dapat clear to users how the request for resources and for assistance are handled. Kaya nga, normally yung mga sysad, meron silang ticketing system na kapag kailangan mo magpa-install, sasagutan mo yung ticketing system nila para ma-address ka nila. Or kapag may issue or concern ka, meron yung ticketing system for you to put your concern. Yung nature, yung style, yung method ng disseminating policies to your community varies from organization to organization. So, different practices, di ba? Depende rin yun sa culture ng isang organization. Siyempre, they also provide procedure. Procedures are step-by-step sequence of actions na kailangan i-take ng isang tao to accomplish a certain task. Procedures to be documented can include backup procedures, how to backup files, how to manage account, how to solve problem, and so on. Katulad ng automation, if a procedure is followed more than once, it is good idea to document it. Kasi di ba repetitive. So para makasigurado ka na lahat ng tao, lahat ng empleyado, fina-follow ito. So you have to document that. So gumagawa din nun sysad. Daming work ng sysad. Yan, changes. A large part of a system administrator's career revolves around making changes. 'Di ba? Kasi nga, alam naman natin na never-ending yung technology, nagbabago yung requirements. So, they should learn how to configure system for maximum performance. They should learn how to tweak the scripts or modify the configuration files and so on. All of these changes should be documented in some fashion. Kailangan. Kasi nga, para yung susunod, kung meron pang other system add na kailangan mag-modify or ikaw na gusto mo nang i-upgrade yung dati mong system, meron kang reference for that to update. They also have to communicate as much as possible. The method by which you communicate with your users can vary according again to your organization. Some organizations gumagamit ng email and others an internal website. In our case, we're using Microsoft Teams, di ba? So you have to tell your users what you are going to do. You have to tell your users what you are doing and what you have done. Kailangan clear po yun. So you have to clarify these things, lalo na yung client mo or yung user mo meron siyang other task na kailangan i-perform. Nakadepende siya doon sa software upgrade na kailangan mong gawin. So, you have to communicate them, your progress. Know your resource, business and users. It is mostly a matter of balancing available resources against the people and programs that use those resources. Isa yan. Kasi halimbawa, meron ka 100 na employees, and then hindi naman lahat ng 100 na employees na ito, example lang, hindi kailangan gumamit ng Excel file. So instead of purchasing license for that, for the 100 people, select ka na lang kung kailangan mo lang pala i-50%. So 50 lang yung i-purchase mo for that. Some of the resources are system resources such as available processing power, memory and disk space, network bandwidth, available money, and the IT budget. So minsan din kasi, hindi naman ganun ka-demanding yung kanyang ginagawa, hindi na kailangan ng very powerful PC. So, ang bigay mo lang sa kanya, yung hindi masyadong powerful PC, pero yung mga nagsisimulate, nagpo-program, diba? Doon mo ibigay yung powerful PC. Pero kung mga admin task lang yung ginagawa, so hindi naman kailangan na powerful yung PC. Whether system admin work for a large multinational corporation or even a small community college, it is important to understand the nature of the business environment and the users of a system as well. Next, secure organization systems and network. Diba? No matter what you might think about the environment in which your systems are running, you cannot take security for granted. Always remember that. Even standalone systems not connected to the internet may be at risk. Although, obviously, the risk will be different from a system that has connections to the outside world, di ba? Kaya nga kami, pag nakaka-receive kami ng mga spam email, hindi minsan namin siya kailangan i-open. Kailangan i-block agad namin yung sender. So, kailangan may ganong mga step na ginagawa yung sysad to inform the users what to do. Therefore, it is extremely important to consider the security implications of everything that they are doing. While you are thinking about security, do not make the mistake of assuming that possible intruders will only attack your systems from outside of your company. Minsan ganun eh. Many times, the perpetrator is someone within the company. So the next time you walk around the office, look at the people around you and ask yourself this question. What would happen if that person were to attempt to subvert our security? Pero sabi ko dito, this does not mean that you should treat your coworkers as if they were criminals. It just means that you should look at the type of work that each person performs, tama, and determine what types of security breaches a person in that position could perpetrate if they were be so inclined. So, kailangan meron kang parang discernment, di ba? So, parang kailangan mo ring observe yung kanya bang ginagawa ay part pa rin ng kanyang job or baka meron siyang other intention na maaaring mag-hack siya ng ating data or information or mag-leak. Plan ahead. At sabi dito, and expect the unexpected. Certainly, walang makakapag-predict ng future with 100% accuracy. However, with a bit of awareness, it is easy to read the signs of many changes. Diba, you can see signs of failure ng system, signs ng failure ng network, requirement ng scalability, 'di ba? Further security and remote administration requirements. Being able to read signs and responding effectively to them makes life easier for system administrators and users. So, sino po ba yung sysadmin or sysad? In a small org, sysad can be entire IT staff. So they do phone support, order, install software and hardware, fix anything that breaks from phones to servers, develop software. Sa malaking organization, sysad can be a part of large IT organization. So maaring specialist sila instead of jack of all trades, yung lahat gagawin nila. Database admin, network admin, file server admin, help desk worker, programmers, logistics. So depende po yun sa organization. So, anong ginagawa ng sysad? So, they remove user, add, remove hardware, perform backup, nag-i-install sila ng bagong software, they troubleshoot, they monitor the system, they audit security, at syempre, they help users. Generic to, maraming kind ng support or help ang pwede nilang ibigay sa users. Let's now talk about user management. Creating user accounts. So, consistency requires automation. Startup, DOT files. So, kailangan para hindi ka magkamali, hindi ka prone magkamali, automate mo. Yung mga bagay na ginagawa mo manually, prone kasi yan to mistake. Username and UID namespace and management. Home directory backups and quotas. Removing user accounts. Again, consistency requires automation. Remove everything, not just home directory and password. So kung kailangan, dapat you know how to remove, when to modify, when to add. Yung hardware management naman po natin, syempre, kailangan you know how to add, how to remove hardware. You know how to configure yung cabling and so on. Kasi ikaw rin yung magbibigay sa kanila ng straight through and crossover connections as needed. Scheduling downtimes and notifying users. They do the evaluation and purchase. Diba? Sila yung nagre-recommend anong software yung pwedeng gamitin nila in a minimum cost. They also do capacity planning. Ilan bang server yung kailangan? How much bandwidth ba? Gaano kalaki bang disk space? Diba? They also do data center management like the power, the racks, environment, cooling, fire alarm. Daming trabaho. And then syempre, they also do backups. Yan, scheduling, capacity planning, and then location, on-site bar, off-site. They install backup software, performing backups and restore. They monitor backup, china-check nila yung logs, and then nagbe-verify din sila ng media. Sa amin nga, hindi kami allowed gumamit ng flash drive. Kasi nga minsan maapektuhan yung data. Baka mag-cause pa ng virus or makuha mo yung data na nasa company. Then they also do software installation. Automated consistent OS installs, evaluation of software, finding and building open source software na pwedeng gamitin commercially kasi may mga gano'n naman, may mga software na pwedeng gamitin for free. And then of course, may mga license naman na commercial na kailangan mong bayaran. They also manage software installations, patching and updating the software, and also scheduling downtimes and notifying the users. Software update difficulties. So no physical access. Update process should work without physical access. Host may not be in known state. Prior to updates may or may not have happened. Sysad or users may have reconfigured. Host may not be there. Portable computers may not be on your own network when you're updating the systems. And then hosts may have live users. Some updates require no user access or reboots. So yun yung mga bagay na kailangan i-consider. So they also consider a new machine, OS installed but not yet configured for environment. Minsan configured correctly for the operating environment. Minsan misconfigured, broken, newly discovered, and so on. And then minsan retard or surplus. So, kailangan they know the state of the machine. They also do troubleshooting. Yan, they identify the problem sa pamamagitan ng notification from the user, from the log files or monitoring programs that they have created. They even track and trace it, 'di ba? Ensure users know you're working on that. Finding the root cause of the problem. So they provide temporary solution and kailangan makapagbigay sila ng permanent solution to eliminate that problem again. Ang hirap din, no? Troubleshooting. Then of course, they do performance monitoring. Di ba they monitor systems for problems, for performance, for log rotation and backup, providing data for capacity planning para ma-determine nila kulang na ba, kailangan na ba nating mag-upgrade and so on. So part po yun ng performance monitoring task ng sysad. Then also they help user. So they requesting tracking system ensures that you don't forget problems, ensures users know you're working on their problem, reduces interruption status queues or queries, lets management know what you've done. So kailangan merong user documentation and training, document software, hardware, and so on. So kailangan you'll always be there to help the users or your clients. So these are the challenges. Yan. So broad knowledge of hardware and software. 'Di ba? Kasi siguro sa simula hindi pa ganoon kalawak yung knowledge mo pero you have to explore further. Kasi nga ikaw yung in control ng lahat. You know how to balance conflict requirements, 'di ba? Yung pang mabilisan lang na pangangailangan versus ang pangmatagalang pangangailangan. End user lang ba versus the need of the entire organization. Service provider versus the police model. So working well and efficiently under pressure. Dapat available ka 24/7. Iba-ibang organization naman yun. Siguro maaring buong sysad available ng 24/7 pero shifting naman sila. You also have to be flexible, tolerant, and patient. Siyempre, meron ka rin dapat na good communication skills. People think of system admins only when things don't work. Di ba totoo? Kaya nga sabi ko minsan less appreciated ang sysad. Kapag lang may problema ka sa computer, saka mo sila kinukulit at na-appreciate. So ito yung mga qualities ng successful sysad. Siyempre, dapat customer-oriented ka. So, dapat meron kang ability to deal with interrupts, time pressure. Yung ang dami mo nang ginagawa, pero kailangan ka pa ng ibang user, dapat willing ka to help them. Then, you know how to communicate well. Service provider, not system police. Again, taga-support ka, hindi yung ikaw yung taga-mando or taga-galit doon sa mga users. They should also have technical knowledge ng hardware, ng network at software. Meron silang debugging and troubleshooting skills. And then, time management. Kaya nga mahalaga yung automation. Sa dami mong gagawin, so i-automate mo yung mga bagay na kaya mong i-automate. Siyempre, meron ka dapat ability to prioritize tasks. Ano ba yung urgent, anong important. So, dapat you know how to manage that well. So, ito yung principles ng SA. Number 1, simplicity. Lagi kang pumili ng simple solution that solves the entire problem. Pangalawa, kailangan merong clarity. Choose a straightforward solution that's easy to change, maintain, debug, and explain to other SAs. Anyway, uulitin mo siya from time to time, diba? So it has to be clear. Generality, choose reusable solutions and open protocols so you could reuse that. Again, automation, use software to replicate or replace the human effort. Then, of course, communication, be sure that you're solving the right problems and that people know what you're doing. So, kailangan nag-update ka. You have to communicate. Kasi nga, lalo na yung sinusupport mo, meron siya din kailangan gawin. So, kailangan ma-deliver din niya yon on time. Basics first. solve basic infrastructure problems before moving to advanced ones. Kasi minsan naubos na yung time mo dun sa napakahirap gawin, hindi mo na rin na-cover yung mga basic na infrastructure problem. So these are some of the organizations na pwede po nating i-search na related sa SysAd. We have UCNIX or the Advanced Computing Systems Association, LISA or the Large Installation System Administration, and the SAGE, the System Administration Guild. So ito yung goals ng SAGE. Number one, advanced status of system administration as a profession, establish standards of professional excellence and recognize those who attain them, develop guidelines for improving the technical and managerial capabilities of members of the profession, and promote activities that advance the state of the art or the community. So in our conclusion, again, SA may look after hardware, operating systems, software configurations, applications, or security, which makes up the philosophy of SysAd as the following. So again, dapat you know how to automate everything, document everything, you have to communicate as much as possible, know your resources, know your users, your business, secure organizational systems, and plan ahead. And again, expect the unexpected. Thank you very much.